What's up guys, Cass here from GiveWave Studios, and on this one I'm going to show you guys how to do frosted tips on your GiveWave Studio ice ball prop that you can use for any type of cosplay really that deals with like elemental powers like Mortal Kombat, Naruto, anime, Marvel, whatever the case may be. So as you can see, it comes on this clear handle. It makes it look like almost invisible. You can do like this, or just kind of hold it out. Hero Academia, all these things work with this prop. So super simple, magnetic, with the light on the inside. But as you can see, this looks pretty basic. On this one, even though this is made out of a darker filament, you can see how we have like the frosted tips. Kind of makes it look a little better when it's not lit up, right? So it still looks like a nice prop. And it's a fairly simple process. So I'm gonna go over it real quick. But before I go into the technique, I want to stress a couple of things. These props come directly off of my print bed. They are a raw DIY kit, which means if you don't like the print lines, or you want to sand off the tips because they're too pointy, or you want to do anything else with it, you want to cover it with XTC 3D, whatever the case may be, that is completely up to you. So you put in the work into making the prop looking as good as you want it to. I do like very slight cleanup before I send these out. So if you get a piece and it has, a couple of things that you want to take off, by all means, grab an X-Acto knife, scrape off the little pieces that are sticking out, or sand down the tips. Do whatever you need to do to prep your piece to be as ready as you want it to be before you start doing any painting on it. All right, so just a little heads up, right, on how the part is received and what you're expected to do as far as the work you need to put in for your DIY. All right, so I have a brush. The more messed up the bristles, the better, I feel like in this case. And I have a little bit of white acrylic paint. Put a little bit of paint, just kind of like wipe it off on like a plastic or a sheet of paper or something like that. And then you're gonna go on each spike individually, just kind of brush it off. So you're gonna start off focusing really on the tip, and as the tip gets more white and white, you kind of bring your brush strokes further down on the spike of the ice, right? So you have something like that. And if the first pass you feel like wasn't good enough, you can go ahead, wet it again, kind of do a second pass, third pass, until you guys are satisfied with the result. And that is basically it. That's what you're gonna do for every single spike on here. Now, depending on, how pronounced you want the effect to be, this should take you about probably no more than an hour, or just a little over an hour. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward through the rest of this process and catch you guys at the end. All right, and with that we are done, and you guys can now see the difference between the two different props, right? This one looks a lot nicer with the lights off, right? It doesn't look just like a 3D printed prop. It looks like there was some work put into it. And then this is just kind of basic. So a nice little detail that you guys can add to your prop. I don't obviously do this for all the props that ship out, because these are DIY kits. So you are expected to do a little bit of work to complete your piece, and it is completely up to you what you want to do with it. I also have this in different colors. So let's say you're trying to do a Todoroki or Bakugo by himself, right? You could probably do the tips maybe yellow or red to kind of like mimic an explosion. So the same principle would apply with an orange one for like the explosion type prop. You can see here how it's a subtle effect, but it's really, really nice, and it makes a world of a difference when compared to the other one that's not painted. I have like one tip painted here, but even in the midst of everything that's not painted, you can already tell that it's a nice effect. And with this one, for the orange one, I use fluorescent red by Pearl Paint, and that's what I'm using to do. It's not a frost effect at this point, I guess it's an explosive effect, but the process is the same as what we did for the frost effect. But you get the idea. All right, so that was it for this one, guys. I hope this was useful. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And this has been Cass from GiveWave Studios, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.